Hello, this is Daniel R. Levi with ReviewStash.com, and today we are going to be doing a very quick unboxing of the PowerColor 2GB 7850 V2. Taking a look at the front of the packaging, we see what appears to be some sort of universe, or I don't know, something's going on there. It looks like this card is using solid capacitors. It's got a power pack SO8, which means you are going to get that 82% peak efficiency if you were concerned about that. Again, this is the 2GB version of this card, which is nice. Got some information on the sides. We'll flip it around back. Now, if you're looking for a card that is good for video and office, this is definitely the card for you. But if you were looking to get the full stars for gaming, I don't know, you might run out of luck on this one. So definitely good for video and office, apparently. This is the new 28 nanometer refresh from AMD. Great microarchitecture. 256-bit memory interface, which is much preferred over the 128-bit memory interface we're seeing on NVIDIA cards in the same price range. So if you're going to be running this card with a multi-monitor setup, or you are planning on running a resolution at 1080p or above, and you're using games with a lot of heavy texturing, this card is going to absolutely wipe the floor with the NVIDIA cards in this price range. That is definitely a certainty. So, let's take a look at what PowerColor has included for us. Very simple, very Spartan, but saves money where money should be saved. Let's pop open that tab, pull out the card. Absolutely beautiful. There's a first glance at the card. Now, something to note about purchasing this card right now, it is $185 on sale at Newegg. You can get $20 off via a mail-in rebate. Drops it down to $165. Then you get a BioShock Infinite and Tomb Raider card with the purchase of this. Those are both new games. Tomb Raider I don't even think is out yet. You can sell that on eBay or your favorite online forum, ReviewStash.com, for $50 to $60, and that brings the price of this card down to about $115. That's insane, because these cards before the price drop from AMD were going well above $200, and you can't get a 650 Ti for that kind of money, and this card absolutely pounces the NVIDIA offerings in this price range. Not only that, but this card is a legendary overclocker, and once we take this card out of the bag, you're going to see why this card in particular is an even better than legendary overclocker. We've got a little warning here telling you, oh yeah, be sure to connect the power connector, by the way. I'm guessing they've gotten some pretty angry RMAs with people not being able to boot up their computer because they did not see that you do need to plug a power connector into this. But I know you guys watching this are way ahead of those consumers. So let's pull this bad boy out of here. We've got a red PCB on the back. You'll notice if you are a savvy 7850 consumer, this does appear to be a reference 7850 PCB. Nothing wrong with that. Let's move this box out of the way. There are a few things about this card that are definitely not reference. Take a look at the side. We have a full grill for exhaust. No silly logos on there like I know a lot of companies like to do. This is great for closed cases with difficult cooling. Port covers, I usually only see that on really expensive MSI cards, so that's really nice to see. Look at that. Beautiful. The pictures online don't do this card justice. Great looking card. Now, if you compare this, we've got the slot cover down there. If you compare this to the reference version 1 of this card, this fan compared to not only the reference, but even from some other companies like XFX, is much larger than the standard fan you'll get on one of these reference PCBs. So this card's going to be cooler, quieter, and you're going to have a lot more headroom for overclocking. Now, a lot of you guys out there looking and comparing 7850s, there's a lot of options out there. You'll probably notice that underneath the shroud of these 7850s, Normally you'll have a small orb-sized cooler there. This card, which you can't tell from the pictures, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck because the heatsink under here probably should make this card $30 more than its $185 price. You actually have a heatsink that covers the length of the PCB. Very quality. You see heat pipes extruding from all sides. You have copper heat pipes wrapping around, over the side, all the solid state capacitors. Amazing construction on this card, especially for the price. And, of course, you have your one 6-pin PCIe power connector there. A lot of power in this card for how little power you need to supply this card. And just a little bit of information. This card is 7.9 inches long, so this will fit in smaller form factor cases like the Q11 or an SG05 if you guys are into that mini ITX stuff. And you get a 2-year warranty, parts and labor on this card. A nice offering from PowerColor. I've definitely seen skimpier warranties. The core clock by default is 860 and 1200 for you NVIDIA guys. They don't, you know, have power boost. But thanks to the cooler on this, I've heard folks getting to 1000 on the core, 1400 on the MIM easily, which will put you at 10% plus above a GTX 570. And keep in mind, the GTX 570, while technically a generation old, is a beast of a video card. And this card is going to pull 100 watts at load. Your GTX 570 is going to be pulling 200 plus watts at load. And this card is going to be much smaller, much quieter, less heat, and still 10% faster, and even more room for overclocking, because again, this is a legendary overclocker. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, let me know.